Yes, so one of the key things, so let's hit the bull in the eye. One of the key areas of contention has been the issue of publication or non-publication. And you heard in the Vox Pop how citizens have shown that, yes, some of them say they support. Is that also?
Indeed.
Yes. So that's the heart of the matter. What we are looking at is that, and the context is this, we believe sunshine is the best disinfectant, right?
Yes.
So if there is provision, and that was our law, PNDC Law 280 during the Rawlings regime, that these appointees publish their assets, and that was done in the Gazette at the Assembly Press, so you could purchase copies. For any appointee who took office, he had to do so, and you could purchase copies at the Assembly Press, just next to Accra Poly, or now Accra Technical University. That was the law, and it helped a lot because citizens could acquire copies of the declaration. I was trying to bring one, but I think in the process I forgot. So you look at Mr. X, you see his assets, right? So once you see what is on paper, and you happen to see Mr. X being closely connected to another property which is not on the paper,
right,
then you have cause to what? Report. Cause to give information to the authorities. So under the Constitution, as at the time we're making it, that's Shraj, right? But now through Act 959, we also have OSP doing the lifestyle audit here and there. So the two institutions, right? Yeah, so once there is that openness, that transparency, then citizens can help. But under the current regime, where under Act 550, once the declaration is done, it's kept with the Auditor General sealed. Well, they say nowadays in practice they've been verifying to see whether it's filled and the rest. It's not sufficient because citizens don't get to participate. So the whole thing is about citizens participating. Remember, Rawlings used to cry every day, participatory democracy, participatory democracy, participatory democracy. So that was part of participatory democracy. You see it? Yes. So that then is key. That,
so, as in like the people, the public will get to know the details of the assets declared by the public, like a minister or the president before he assumed office. So
absolutely,
we know he owns 2
Okansi.
houses, 3 houses.
Absolutely.
And when he's exiting we know that he's built 2 or 3 more houses.
Excellent.
And
Excellent.
The source of the money he used to build
Thank
them
you. So
also declared.
Thank you. Yes, that's what Article 286 Clause 4 says. Yes, because that's the foundation of everything that we are saying. Because Article 286 Clause 4 says that if a public officer has assets or property, and these cannot be attributed to income, gift, loan, or inheritance, then that property has been unlawfully acquired. That's what we call unexplained wealth. Right? So once Article 286 Clause 4 makes that provision, how do we operationalize it? Yes, you go to 287 and it says Shraj will do investigations when somebody is reported, such that a minister has some property which he doesn't own or which he has illegally acquired, etc. I remember in the Rawlings regime, there was a A.J. Mafo. He was Minister for Lands and Forests or something like that. A.J. Mafo or something like that. Yeah, he had property in the name of his 6-year-old son. Yeah, it went to Shraj, and Shraj found him liable, right? Then PVOB also had some properties, right? Yeah. To the Presidential Commission. So you see that we've done some work in the 90s. But the problem has been, and that takes me quickly to the second point, one of the things we need addressed there, that research has shown that Ghanaians are very timid. We are scared of reporting these big people. So if we are scared of reporting the big people, shouldn't we cure it? You see, the law is a reflection of the culture of a people. You see, law is not just law in a vacuum. You study law, and they will tell you that a lot of it reflects the culture of the people. So if in our culture, this thing that, hey, say no bad thing about a big man, a small boy cannot talk about a big man, is deeply ingrained. Of course, in recent times, it seems to be going away, but we still have a long way to go. So when that translates into fear, etc., you should make the law in such a manner that it cures automatically. And that is to say that put in a provision that these appointees, at the time they are exiting, will be asked to do a lifestyle audit, automatic. Then citizens can what? go and give information anonymously. So the provision already, we have the Whistleblowers Act. Of course, it has its own problems and the rest, but maybe once there's that provision of anonymity, then citizens can go and give anonymous information. And I always say, let's repeat for as many times as we can our history. There used to be this prosecutor, public prosecutor called Lawyer Dpaah. Lawyer Dpaah was said to have taken money from Mr. Henry Jabba, and then Owusu is the Kowus Motors, all right? Yeah, so it was citizens who, some citizens took the information to the office of the investigating commission anonymously. They went and placed the information at the doorstep of the commission investigating Lawyer Dpaah.
I see.
Yeah, they brought the man's bank account from UK, Barclays Bank. They placed copies there. So after that, the commission wrote to Barclays Bank to confirm. And he confirmed that, yes, Mr. Henry Jabba and then Mr. Owusu had paid money into the account, blah, blah, blah. So that's how come Lawyer Dpaah was prosecuted. And he lost his public prosecutor in the lines of now the special prosecutor that we have, right? Yeah. So that's then you also go back to our history, the Jage Commission, when Kwame Nkrumah was overthrown. Yes, because of, one of the charges against him was corruption, right? Yeah, so his appointees were made to face the Jage Commission. All of them, ambassadors, ministers, etc. A fat report. You see them. Yes, you have this car. You bought it in this year. Yes, you have this house. You bought it in this year, etc. Can you account for all of them? And you see the Jage Commission report. Those who couldn't account, their properties were confiscated. Some were even prosecuted. But what I'm talking about is the automaticity. Automatic, straight, that everybody is going. Because Ghana is rasem pasem, right? You don't want people who say, hey, I shouldn't be the one to go and report.
So clearly we see that this person, there's some questionable wealth somewhere. But yeah, we'll hear people talking about it.
Yes.
We'll go on social media and say, but to actually go and report,
yes,
you don't see that happening.
Yes. About a few months ago, I will do that case. I'm just waiting. Somebody took me to East Legon and showed me 4 houses belonging to a certain minister. At what was to say
4 houses?
Yeah.
A current
4.
minister or past
Yeah.
minister?
A current minister, 4 straight since he came into office. Yeah, I've been talking about, we'll deal with it. Look, don't be scared of that fool. Oh, no, don't be scared. Look, democracy from time to time is watered with the blood of patriots, okay, and villains alike. If you get scared, this democracy will not move forward. Yeah, somebody showed me. I just want the OSP matter to move a bit, then there's that. You don't want today, you are reporting tomorrow too much.
So in this case,
yeah.
if the person has come to you and not within,
so he's scared. So the point I'm making is that he is scared. He doesn't want to go forward. So he sees me making noise here, so to speak. Then he says, "Okay, Kpebu, you come. I'll show you something." 4.
These 4 houses belong
gigantic
to
houses, gargantuan. Yeah, 4
big
millions of dollars, millions.
I
Oh,
have documents to prove that they are for the minister.
you don't worry. We'll go there.
Because I can point any house to you, and it might not be for the person, but maybe the person knows.
One day
about
at a
it.
time.
I can drive to your house several times. People will think it's my house.
You wait one day at a time. Don't be too much in a hurry. Yeah.
Right. Suppose you say you're going to take up the matter.
Yeah.
You will pursue the case.
So the point,
Okay.
yes. Yeah, so what we're saying is that people scared, okay, is something we should take care of in the law. So the bill, so the point is that the bill that the presidency currently has and which is being drafted, the Attorney General has done work on it, it's not fit for purpose. That's the point we have to make. Without the issue of publication of the assets and then without the issue of automatic lifestyle audit at the time each appointee is exiting, the bill is not good. It's not fit for purpose at all. Look, let's be brief.
Yes.
If we want to tackle corruption, we want to tackle unexplained wealth, look, Ghanaians, let's be bold. Let's come up. Let's do it. Because, look, you've seen it. Children, small boys and girls come into public office 1 day, 2 days. People who never held any proper jobs. Today, they are lying V8s, have built mansions here and there. And you think this thing can continue like that? No, otherwise, one day there'll be chaos. Yeah, we are going to get an upheaval. Yes, because once we keep seeing this happening, that somebody who just left law school or somebody who just came out of any other training school hasn't done much and today is controlling millions of dollars, then you're like, But even lawyers who go to court, how many years does it take to see $1 million? They are saying that this thing cannot continue. So please, let's be bold. Let's be bold. Let's be bold. Let's be courageous. Look, if we don't, then it means that we are not really ready for a democracy. Yes, the people who pride themselves saying that they are good leaders, they are good leaders, they should come up. I always refer to Plato's philosopher king, the criteria for leadership. One of them is courage, courage, courage. So if...
This Cecilia Dapaah, and lawyer, thank you for the reference of that. In fact, this is just leading us to what the Attorney General has advised, right? Because this Cecilia Dapaah case brought the bigger conversation of, putting the laws and structures in place to ensure that unexplained wealth, especially by 7 public officers, are cured. Because when in such instances happen in other jurisdictions where there's serious, progressive democracies, structures are put in place so that with the evolution of society and the issues happening, the laws reflect the happenings in the society. So you say that this conduct of public officers bill may not be the case if we don't address this weakness that you see in there. But this week, the Attorney General's advice to the CID of the Ghana Police Service on this Cecilia Dapaah case became public. And there were a number of questions that were raised about it. And what we do know as well is that 2 more suspects have been arrested in the ongoing investigation into the stolen funds from the residence of Cecilia Dapaah. Now, we don't know the identities of these 2 persons, but the 5 persons, including the 2 house helps of the former minister, who were supposed to appear before court this week, I think it was on Thursday, could not make it because we understand that the police is still going around with them to still identify, the property, what they used the money they stole for as well. But let's put the AG's advice on the screen, okay? We took the very salient areas, and it's quite about 9 pages or so. But this is what the Attorney General said. It's that Cecilia Dapaah stated in her initial complaint, and the emphasis is on her initial complaint, that $800,000 belonged to her deceased brother, and 300,000 cedis of the contribution was actually contribution towards her mother's funeral, contained in a box and a bag, respectively, were stolen. So look at that. It says $800,000 belonged to her deceased brother, and 300,000 cedis was contribution towards her mother's funeral, contained in a box and a bag, respectively, were stolen. This was her initial complaint. Now, you remember this narrative of this funeral contribution. Remember, the Honorable Kokofu was here, and the reference was made. And then also, eventually, another colleague, broadcast journalist, during that week, also made reference to this funeral contribution, and that the deceased brother is the owner of $800,000. This was actually captured in the AG's advice, this narrative. Now, the AG goes to say that this is confirmed by Henry Osei Kwabena, who told the police, that's the husband, who told the police on 4th July 2023 that he brought the box of money to her sister for safekeeping. That is the Dapaah's brother. This notwithstanding, it is important for the police to conduct independent investigations into these assertions to ascertain, 1, goes on to say, the true ownership of the amount. Even though Cecilia Dapaah stated that this $300,000 belongs to her brother, late brother, the police, the AG says, establish the true ownership of the amount of the $800,000. The source or sources from which the established owner of the amount of $800,000 acquired the money, and whether the accused actually stole the full amount of $800,000 from the house of the complainant. Remember, It is $1 million that was reported to have been stolen. Now, take a look at this. The next one. Cecilia Dapaah did not indicate who the amount of the $200,000, which is the difference between the 800 and the 1 million, and the 300,000 euros stolen from the room, her room belonged to. The $200,000 and $800,000 have been lumped together in one account or count on the charge sheet as belonging to Cecilia Dapaah. Now, that charge sheet that the agent makes reference to is the amended charge sheet that is in the public domain that we've all seen. Now, bear in mind that on that charge sheet, let's see that charge sheet, the amended charge sheet which became public that we all know. Here's it. Let's go down a bit. Now, on that amended charge sheet, go down. It says that, and let's see, go up, essentially that the amount of the $1 million belonged to Cecilia Dapaah on the said charge sheet, which we have seen a copy of. And the other items that were stolen belonged to Cecilia Dapaah, except for the suits, which was the only item that was said to be that of her husband. So, can the police come up with the details of a charge sheet that does not reflect the complainant's facts that she went to report? Because in the initial, what the amended charge sheet we just put on the screen, the $1 million was said to be Cecilia Dapaah's money. Just belonged to Cecilia Dapaah. The AG says, well, per the information on the charge sheet I have, $800,000 belongs to her late brother, and $200,000, I don't know where that money came from. So, can the police do that? Put something on a charge sheet that the complainant hasn't said?
Okay, right. So,
and let me welcome George Kokorikit-Hagan. I announced that he was going to be joining us earlier. Good morning, the former Deputy Finance Minister for Kpebu South. Good to have you.
Thank you very much.
Great. Lawyer.
yeah, so two answers. Theoretically, yes, the police can make a mistake because we all make mistakes. So theoretically, of course, it's no brainer that the police can make a mistake, right? Yeah, and that's happened. I'm trying to see if I can remember any. But you remember, sometimes mistakes in filling the forms, they always happen. You remember even when the president himself was Attorney General, this Chachuchikata case, the causing financial loss. Yeah, he filled the form wrongly. And it was, we are commanded in the name of the president, when it should be in the name of the republic. It went to the Supreme Court. President Kufado was Attorney General. He made that mistake. It went, so even he, president, when he was Attorney General, in doing the charge sheet, they made a mistake. And it brought a huge furore. It went to the Supreme Court at first. The ordinary panel even ruled in favor of Chachuchikata that the thing was wrong. And so there were no proper charges. Then it went on review. And even the President Kufuor was accused of packing the court, the review justice affairs rule, etc. And then they now overturned it and said, look, this is a mistake that can happen. It's nothing, blah, blah, blah. So look at the president, lawyer. At that time, he was even more than 20 years at the bar. He made a mistake as Attorney General in presenting the case to the court. So how much less, so the police? Mistakes happen, and I'm sure if we all, as I sit here, go to court, we may make mistakes. We all, everybody. So theoretically, yes, the police can make the mistake. But now let's come to the practical side of it. The practical side, I don't think so. I think, look, I don't believe that it was a mistake. There were times, and I keep saying
you don't
that.
Believe that it was a mistake?
No. I don't buy into it because I happen to understand a few more of the facts that are not too much in the public domain. Madame Dapaah had been crying about this money, and I can say so. Look, she was she had been crying about this money. I told you that I don't want, because of privacy and those things, I'll not mention. But this matter had been to a certain court last year. Madam Dapaah came to testify. She was crying about that money. She was crying about the money. There was money in this bag, this bag, this bag. Oh, no. Listen, she was advised to leave this matter. Lawyers advised Madam Dapaah that, hey, this thing, be careful, it will lead you to some troubles. Yeah, that's just God's way.
The lawyers advised her to leave the issue.
Yeah. I can tell you for a fact.
Why?
Yes, that look, this money, the way this money is so colossal, if you keep talking about it and it gets into the public domain, you'll get trouble. Yeah, I can tell you on authority. I can tell you. But we don't want to reveal too many of the facts around that case so that because of privacy matters. I've told you before that under our law, some category of vulnerable persons are entitled to some privacy when their cases go to court. And so we are not allowed to discuss those openly. But I'm telling you that it's not a mistake. She wept about that money. She kept indicating money. They said, madam, but you haven't brought a case of money to this court. I'm telling you on authority. Yeah. So there's no mistake, please. Look, and there are more. Just wait for the OSP. Wait. You see, after the search, you hear what they said, that they found something significant. And I keep telling you that, look, Kisi Ejabe, it's a brilliant lawyer. Very brilliant. Everybody, you go to law school, they'll tell you Kisi Ejabe, first-class student, no joke. He won't lightly come out and won't lightly allow to be published that they have found something significant if they haven't. I'm telling you that. That's right. Look. Anyway.
So for you, the details of this case, which you are privy to, which you may not be able to give the details of it, it's not consistent with the AG's narrative in there that this 800,000 of the 1 million stolen belongs to her late brother, as the AG has captured there. What you know is not consistent with what is there. Absolutely.
Madam Dapaah was crying about this money. Yeah, last year, when this case was in a certain court. Yeah. It's, look, no two ways about it. No two ways. That one, we can't deny it. Push comes to shove. There are official records. Those can be accessed. Yeah. Have you seen the publication? The neighbors who said, but the man was a shoemaker. Sorry, it's for Madam Dapaah to come and clarify. But you've seen that publication.
Indeed.
I haven't heard their response, saying that the man who is said to have owned the $800,000 was a shoemaker, blah, blah, blah.
That's not to say that the shoemakers can make them, but
Yes,
I think you've classified the statement quite carefully.
Yes.